Yeah. Okay. What's up, Coach? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Marty.
Rick Whittington, nice to meet you. The long-awaited arrival.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah, we were rolling along, and then
I got a little short, man.
that kind of stopped everything. Were you coaching at Dixie? Where were you coming before you got this job?
I was an OC at Dixie last year.
You were at Dixie, okay. You're related to Joey, right?
I am. He is my cousin.
Cousin. That's what I thought it was. I knew you guys had to be related.
Everybody thinks we're brothers, but we are cousins.
I was wondering that.
Been trying to get in the playoffs so we can get Whit Bowl one forever. You know?
He's been at Bell a long time. 12 years, I think.
12 years, yeah. Yeah. I was with him in year one. Yeah.
Now ED too. Yeah,
Oh,
good job over there.
Yeah, he's almost about to be the mayor, probably.
Man, I tell you, Bell is like literally the school. Okay. All right, welcome back. We now are joined by the Dixie County Bears. They're here with us, Coach Rick Whittington and his players. Coach Whittington is first year as the head coach at Dixie County. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on the new position, the head coach. I know you were working at Dixie before you took the job here this year as the head coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm excited. I'm a Dixie County alumni, and I came back last year. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of success, and all these guys right here were a part of it. And going from a team that hadn't made the playoffs to a team that went 7-3 and then made the playoffs. So,
right.
We had a lot of success. I'm excited, and we've had a great offseason. Things are trending in a very positive direction. And a big part of these guys sitting right here.
Yeah, you mentioned 2 years ago 2-8, which is really rare for Dixie County to have a year like that. But last year you came back 7-4 and made it back to the playoffs. Talk a little bit about how last season went and how it ended.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that last year what I saw is what the players did. Is I think the investment and the work ethic that they put in and what they did to chase down that goal, and our ultimate goal every year is to make sure we chase down a playoff berth and do what we need to have the success not only during the season but success of getting what we got a big board at the end of our stadium where we got every playoff year. And that's something that these guys took pride in. They wanted their name up on that board, and they went out there and did that. So you can have all the schemes, or you can have all the core values and beliefs that you have, but it takes the players buying in and putting forth the work and do what they need to achieve that success. And that's what they did. They went out there and got it done. So it's awesome to see that. And hopefully we take another step this year in that right direction.
Yeah, I see you beat Trenton and Chiefland, your rivals last year. Beat Chiefland by a point. That's always a big win to beat.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are some games for us. I mean, it's really special for us, those two games. But I think in those two games, that's traditional small town football. I mean, we got one of those towns that's got the Walmart that we all go shop at, and we know a lot of guys on all three of those schools. Everybody knows each other pretty well, and you see each other. And different schools have had success within that kind of three-headed rivalry that we had. And I think last year in that Chiefland special traditional moment. I know they've had some wins on their side of the rivalry too. That's very special to them, but it's games like that that make high school football special.
Yeah, I'm reading you had you only graduated 6 seniors last 2 years. You have a pretty big senior class this year? Or?
Not in relation probably to what you would think. I mean, we got the guys that we have right now, like I think I said before, was that we got a ton of experience on our roster. I think one of the things with that team that went 2-8 is these guys were able to develop a lot of experience and build on that. And these guys roll with the punches and do what they need to continue to grow as a program and grow as players individually. And you saw a program. We took a step as a program in the right direction last year, but I think the biggest thing that you see is we got a ton of experience, whether it's a sophomore, whether it's a junior, a lot of 3- and 4-year starters kind of through those tough years and with the lack of, having that numbers of seniors. But, yeah, we have a lot of experience on this roster.
Who do you have with you? Go ahead and introduce your team.
So I have Jaheim Taylor, senior. He is our quarterback, and that's one thing about Dixie County is we all play both ways. True small town ball squad.
Okay.
So he plays quarterback and he plays defensive back, linebacker for us as well. We got junior Tucker Wood, offensive lineman, plays some defensive line as well. Senior Mr. Williams, who is a running back for us and also plays defensive end, and then junior Xavier Campbell plays offensive line and defensive line for us. And then we also have another running back defensive end down there on the end, and junior Cam Osmond.
Yeah, it's they said 2 seniors and 3 juniors here. As you said, all your guys go play both ways.
Yeah, that's kind of something that's part of our culture that all these guys have kind of bought into. There's times right here especially with these 5 guys, where you try to get those rotational pieces in to make sure we stay healthy throughout the game, throughout the season. And I think what's interesting is what I like is when sometimes these guys, it's get a little bit tougher to pull them out of the game than it is getting them into the game. So it's they love playing football and they love getting out, they love being out there on that field with each other. So
what's your schedule look like this year?
Well, we got those traditional rivalry games, and I think for us is what we're excited about is again trying to make that pursuit. I mean, we control what we control, and what we control is who we play and the direction of where the program is going to go. I mean, like we said, ultimately our goal is to be a playoff team, and regardless of what the playoff format is, and I know there's been a lot of changes in the FHSA and whatnot, what we're going to control is a week-to-week basis of who we play and how we approach the game and how we prepare for those teams that we play. We play a lot of local teams. We play a lot of teams that we've got some tradition with, like the games that we mentioned, Trenton and Chiefland. Another game that we have like that is Lafayette, which is a big game that we usually start the year with. But there are we definitely got a lot of tradition. We're playing Taylor County again this year, which is a traditional game. We're in the past for us. Haven't played for the last couple seasons. Got them back on the schedule. So yeah, it's we got some exciting games. We got 6 home games, 4 away games, which we're excited about as well. There ain't nothing like a Friday night in Cross City. So we're definitely excited about it in Bear Country. And again, but more so for us, it's about how we prepare for each individual game and what we need to do as we continue to take those steps towards reaching that ultimate goal, making the playoffs, and then going from there and seeing what we do.
Yeah, I know you mentioned before we started, you're being a Dixie County grad, and you can tell it means a lot to you as a player. And we have a lot of coaches who kind of in the area go back to their alma maters, but I'm sure it's been kind of cool going back to Dixie County and coaching.
It really has been. I think the thing for me is that these guys, they're carrying on a tradition that was built by so many before them.
Mm-hmm.
I think even like today we went out and ate in town before we came up here. And, we were talking about some things as far as tradition and different numbers and whatnot and who wore them before them. And, and I think that's one thing that's kind of exciting for me is we get to connect that bridges between the past and the present, mm-hmm. And see what we've done as far as a program in the past, like all those numbers on the board. Like a lot of these guys, they got relatives, they got fathers, they've got uncles, they've got brothers, they've got grandfathers who've played for Dixie County. So it's there's a lot of tradition within that program that I've got to uphold as a head coach, as an alumni, someone who cares about this program, and they've got to uphold as players who wear those 5 letters on their chest every single day.
All right, let's talk to the guys. Let's start here with Jaheim, right?
Yes, sir.
For your starters, but the first year is the starting quarterback, right?
Yes, sir.
But you've been playing DB
Yes, sir. I've been a few years.
Has there been how's the transition kind of been to quarterback?
It's not been that difficult because I've been built for the tough situations and I had to step up, so I knew what was going to come with the challenge. But it can be a little different because I haven't played the position before, but I'm ready for it. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Do you guys are you kind of 50-50 offensively? I mean, will GM be running some as quarterback, or do you more running offense?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that we are 50-50, but at the end of the day, what we want is whatever we got to be percentage-wise. To win a ball game, that's what we're going to try to find a way to be. But we one thing that we talk about in Dixie County is we're going to be a physical football team on both sides of the ball, and naturally the run game is a proponent of physicality in the sport of football. So in Dixie County, we do like to run the ball, and we do like to, if we can win the line of scrimmage with that physical style of play, that's what we're going to do.
Sorry, I'll go back to Jaheim,
Yes,
but a senior year for you.
Yes, sir.
How's the offseason been, and does it kind of hit you that this is it? Last year we got to go and win this year, right?
Yeah, the offseason, we've been putting in a lot of hard work, a lot of grind, but I have had those moments when like, oh man, I'm a senior, this is my last year. You have to give it all you got,
Is there a game you most like to win? Is it Trenton, Chiefland, one of those games?
100% Chiefland.
Chiefland, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, figures. So that's going to be the answer, I know. I had to ask that one. Y'all have a big rivalry with Chiefland.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we'll thank you, Jaheim. We'll move along to Tucker, you got it. Okay. Tucker, you play both lines, both sides of the line. Which offensive line position do you play?
I play offensive tackle.
Tackle, right or left?
Left tackle.
Left tackle, okay. Well, you're a junior, so you've had a few years in this program. What's it going to take for Dixie County to get the playoffs and win a few games, make a little bit longer run this year?
I think this season, what we need to focus on is seeking perfection. I think last season, we really wanted to focus on hard work, integrity, and toughness. Take the mic.
Yeah, sorry.
I think we really focused on our toughness and ability, but I think this season we need to focus on winning games and being perfect in those games.
Yeah, I guess it probably hasn't been a whole lot of transition to Coach was already here before, right?
Right.
Coach Whittington,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that Coach Wood has taken the correct steps toward that goal, and I think that more guys in the weight room and on the field are buying in more and more every day, and so it's pretty exciting to see. Okay,
thanks, Tucker. Appreciate it. And now we have Mr. Williams. Love that name. Running back and linebacker. You play both those positions. So
yes, sir, both ways.
They give you the ball a lot on offense?
I'm the workhorse, they say.
Workhorse, yeah. I said third on team in rushing, but are you the leading? Is he the leading?
That role is going to increase instrumentally this year.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah.
And you're a senior too, so how's the off season been? You've been working towards this last year and really getting fired up for it.
Yes, sir. Just giving it all I got for my last year, my senior year.
Yeah, that's
taking every moment in.
And Chiefland's not sure is a team you want to beat. Is there another team besides Chiefland that you look at and you really?
Chiefland's a big rivalry for us, but Blanchetown is a new team we got added on the schedule.
Do y'all go there or they come to you?
They come to the Bears.
Cross City? Okay. I say that's a bit of a trip if you're going to Blountstown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is that the first early in the season or?
That's going to be week 8.
Oh, later. Okay. Okay.
After the Chiefland game, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool, mister. Thank you.
Sir.
You pass it along to Xavier Campbell.
Yes, sir.
And you play both lines too. What offensive line position?
I play offensive tackle mainly. Yes, sir. I play defensive tackle.
Is it one you prefer, offense or defense?
I love offense. Scoring is always the best way. More scoring means more winning, so that's all.
It's kind of half and half, I guess. Some people like to hit, be on defense. Some people lines usually like to be on offense. If you ask a linebacker or a safety, they'd rather be on defense. It seems like. So, how's your off season been?
All season's been great. You know what I'm saying? We've all been just working to just get perfect. We've established everything. When Coach Witt came here, we've been working, but now all we're doing is just focusing on just winning. You know what I'm saying? Working to be the best version of ourselves.
Yep. Okay. I appreciate it. I'm going to pass it on to Cam there. All right, Cam Osmond, defensive end, running back. It says you led the team as receiving as a tight end.
Yes, sir.
So are you going to be playing more running back or put you wherever?
I'll probably be playing both because I'm better at blocking and catching, and then whenever they need me to run the ball, I can do that too, get an open field.
I led team in sacks too, huh? So you're,
yes, sir.
Pretty good for the defensive end position. You like defense too as well?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I love
okay.
defense.
What's it going to take to get to the playoffs and maybe make a run to state?
Everybody keeping up with their steps. Everybody knowing what to do, and like not staying complacent with me. Like not stopping at something you did like good. Like find a way to do it better.
Okay, appreciate it. Well, Coach, we appreciate you guys sticking around. Sorry for the delay, but we thank you for coming here today.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having us.
And we wish you guys good luck this year. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Coach Rick Whittington, the Dixie County Bears. And we will return in just a moment. Well, I'm not sure with who it's going to be. Fort White's waiting, so we'll see if that's them. But and you're watching the North Central Florida High School Football Media Day live here from Gainesville.
Oh, this is live?
At Southern Mobile Home Services, serving our customers is what we do best. From steps and decks to skirting and gutters, we've got all your mobile home needs covered. Call us today at 877-490-9308 or at 352-463-3795 for top quality service. Visit us at our 2 great locations in Chiefland and Trenton. Southern Mobile Home Services, serving our customers is what we do best.
All right, welcome back to the North Central Florida High School Football Media Day, live here from the Alachua County Events and Athletics Center. I am Marty Paulman, and now joined by the Gainesville Hurricanes here in the purple and white. Good to see you. And Coach Ian Scott's second year as the head coach, and I'm sure get a little more used to things this year. But the first year, I know the record, not what you wanted, but what did you see as your team went on with improvement from last year?
Everything is a work in progress as you grow. We were able to make some strides. The biggest thing is just really trying to come together as a team and build some unity and having guys out there playing and being excited and playing for one another. And those are some different areas that we were able to have some growth in last year and have a good start to build on for this next season.
Yeah, how's the offseason been for you, for your team?
It's been good. The guys are working hard, and hopefully it'll lead to the success that we expect and hope to have when we get to start playing games here real shortly.
Yeah, and I know that, as you said, it's a work in progress, and that sometimes can be tough on the players. But, I mean, they're able to stick through and keep going because they know at some point that the success is going to start, right?
We've got, some guys that have been in it and been in the program for a while that have stuck in there and continue to give us an opportunity to coach them and to trust us. And those types of people are invaluable, and we've been blessed to have some of those guys, Tony, who's here, Junior, Matt, Nick Tisher, those guys that have been here, been a part of the program for 4 years now and going to be seniors. I can't wait to see them be able to get on the field and lead our team this year.
What's your schedule look like this year?
It's tough. We play good football teams and challenging schedule. We got a very solid district with Lecanto, Leesburg, and Vanguard, and obviously we play everybody here in the county, the bigger schools, and got Braden River, which is a big school out of West Florida, and the second game with Leon from last year. They had a great season last year. They're doing good things over there. So plus a Lake Weir team that won 7 games last year as well. So we got a solid schedule of some really talented football teams. Ocala Forest, who was, they had a decent season last year as well. So we'll have some tests and be able to have competitive, and we do see some success against those teams. Right, we'll have really earned it.
Yeah, you mentioned that's a little bit different district, the Canto Leesburg, so that changes just a little bit, right?
Yeah, it does.
And it's Vanguard.
It's a little bit further travel. I'm not sure how we had passed up all the Clay County and all the Berrien County schools that are all our same size to pick up those extra games, but we'll do our best to get through it. We got an early, week 4 test is the first game with LeCanto, first district game, so hopefully we can get off to a fast start this season.
Well, you got one Marion County team, Vanguard.
Yeah.
That's all, just Vanguard, right?
Yeah, just Vanguard.
Yes, that's it. All right, Coach, if you want to go ahead and introduce the players you have here with you.
All right, so we got Tony Perriman, returning starting corner for us, DB. He's going to be a senior. Nelson Tamblin has come in with us this year. He's plays quarterback and does some other things for us. He's a junior. Jay-Sean Sanford, returning player for us. It was our JV quarterback last year. Did a great job finishing up in the spring. He's a junior. Fantastic football player that's going to be able to help us out and playing quarterback as well. Some other stuff. And then Aiden Bell, offensive tackle. He second year with us as a starting offensive tackle, and obviously a big body on the offensive line to help us be able to be more physical as a football team. And
I've seen him on the basketball court.
Out there, can also shoot it.
Yep.
And we got Calvin Thomas, who's another senior wide receiver, safety for us, and looking forward to seeing him out on the field as well.
Is it a big senior class this year, or is it a younger team, a little bit?
It's a little bit of both. We've got a good number of seniors, but not as many as last year. But I think we had a lot last year that had not very much experience. The seniors that we've got this year are a little bit more seasoned, played a lot more football, and from a leadership perspective, I think are ready to help this team be successful.
Yeah, I was asking the coach at Dixie County too, and he's back coaching his alma mater. You came back to your alma mater. How has that been? Being back home. I mean, being back here coaching your high school.
It's an interesting dynamic to walk the same halls as a leader, as an adult, than it was to be a student and
right.
trying to figure out what life was having come my way. So there's an interesting dynamic there. It's home. It's got a great sense, and but I think the biggest thing is having an excitement and really having a passion for the place and for the people. Really being able to leave a mark and set a standard for what Gainesville High School is supposed to be like, and we're not all going to be around forever, but Gainesville High School is still going to be here, and we want to make sure we leave it in the shape that it's supposed to be.
Okay, well, Coach, we appreciate you guys coming. We'll go ahead and talk to your guys here. We're starting with Tony Perriman.
Yes,
okay. Your defensive back.
Yes,
play that side. How's your off season been? What have you been working on this year?
Just working my technique.
Up a little bit.
My bad.
It's okay.
Just working my technique, working every day. I go to summer workouts, and I got a DB coach too. So after summer workouts, I'll usually go there around 5 o'clock and get a little bit of work in.
Do you have a few guys who play both ways, or just not a lot, right?
We got a few.
Got a few, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just wondering. I see a list here, but so it's your senior year. I mean. How can this team improve from last year? I mean, what do you guys got to do?
I feel like if everybody buy in, if everybody want to win the game, we're going to win the game. We can't have any doubts. We can't listen to the name of the team.
Right.
We just got to go out there and play and want to win the game.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you. You can pass it on. Nelson, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're the starting quarterback? Sure.
Yes,
yeah, you're right. Okay, sorry. Well, how about You played last year as well, right? You didn't play at all?
I'm a current transfer.
Oh, you transferred. Okay. So how's your offseason been, kind of getting used to this?
Offseason has been very beneficial. I feel like the team has definitely come together around each other. I mean, it's a very good environment that I've come into. I had a pretty rough road getting to this point, but I'm very blessed with the opportunity I have coming to Gainesville. So,
you got some guys to throw to, also.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Yeah, it's good to see. Is there a game on your schedule that you want to? I'm sure Buchholz may be my answer, but is there a game on the schedule or Eastside? Buchholz.
Well, actually, for me, I guess for the entire team, I feel like the mentality is that every game is really a stake.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had these last few years where we've not maybe lived up to the opportunities lived up to the expectation everyone had for GHS, but I feel like we're definitely turning that around. So every game this year, the mentality is going into it to win, because this is a statement year for a lot of us. This is a turnaround. This is for a last dance for a lot of these guys that have been around for many, many years. So we're definitely going into it with we're ready for every game. So.
Oh, you're a junior, so you'll have another year.
I'll have another one,
so yeah. But these guys are all seniors, so yeah, right. All right, let's talk to Jay Sean. Is that his?
Yep.
Okay. Jay Sean, what position are you? Sorry.
I play quarterback.
Jay Sean plays quarterback.
He's a
as well.
quarterback. Okay.
Hey, speak up.
Yeah, sorry, I can't.
Say it with your chest.
Noise. That's right. You play quarterback too. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, did you play quarterback last year at all?
I played JV quarterback last year.
JV. Okay. So, how's looking forward to varsity this
Yes,
year?
sir.
Yeah. How's your off season been? Have you been working on the quarterback position a lot?
It's been great.
Yeah.
Getting to
thank you.
Learn my receivers, being great, having great communication with them. Love being around the team.
How you like playing for this guy here, the coach Scott?
It's great playing Coach Scott.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Jay Sean. Go ahead and pass it to Aiden. Aiden, you play line, right?
Yes, sir. Okay.
You play both or just offense?
No, I just play right and left tackle.
Offensive line? Okay. How can you improve from last season to this year, I would just say? What can you maybe do better on the field?
I would say everybody doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
I think last year we had a lot of struggles, blaming like the situations that we were in on one another. Last year it was just kind of a mess, but this year is going to be fun if everybody can do their job.
Oh, you're a senior too?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't have you on the list here, but so my apologies. I guess I'll ask the question again if you answer it, but is there a game you're really looking forward to? I know there's seemed like an obvious answer, but
probably Eastside, honestly.
Eastside, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to think Buchholz, but other than that, I mean, maybe. Like, is another game you kind of stands out, team you want to get?
Probably Buchholz.
Yeah, okay. Figured that. All right, yeah, that makes sense. City games. All right, Aiden, appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll pass it along to Calvin Thomas.
Sir. Yes,
okay. Senior. It says wide receiver and DB. You play both?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you like one more than the other?
Not really. I just enjoy playing football.
Just enjoy playing football?
Yes, sir.
And you're a senior as well. So,
yes, sir.
I mean, the last chance for you, what's it going to take for this team to get it going and maybe get to the postseason this year and win some games?
I feel like we definitely all have to be on the same page. We all have to have the same goal in mind. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if we're able to accomplish that, we can go far. We can go far.
Okay. All right, guys, appreciate it. Thanks for coming today. Sorry we had a bit of a delay, but we'll get you in and out.
Thanks for having us.
And practice starts 29th, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so get ready to get going again. All
Summer's over.
Summer's over, yeah. Good to see you, Coach. Thank you, guys. Gainesville High and Coach Ian Scott here with us. And coming up next, Countryside Christian. They're in the building. They'll be here with us or when we return here from the Alachua County Athletics and Events Center. Thanks, sir.
First time. On behalf of Tropical Smoothie Cafe,
welcome to Tropic Time!
Complimentary good vibes are served with made-to-order smoothies on the pool deck. And may I suggest our newest amenity, Tropic Bowls. It's like a spoonful of sunshine. Right, darling? Acai, mangoes, chia seeds, berries. Hello, it's called 5-star luxury for a reason. You're on Tropic Time now with the new Tropic Bowls at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
All right, welcome back to the 2024 North Central Florida High School Football Media Day, hosted at the Alachua County Sports and Events Center at Celebration Pointe in Gainesville. Today's event is broadcast live on FloridaHSFootball.com, including YouTube and Facebook at FloridaHSFootball and X at FLAHSFootball. I'm Cam Parker, taking over from Marty Paulman once again. And with me now, we have the Countryside Christian Minutemen, SSA 8-man, so it's a little bit different than all the other teams that we've seen today. With me today is head coach Keith Neal. Coach, good to have you. Guys, good to have you with us today. So, we've had some SSAA teams in, but you guys are our first, I believe, one of the only 8-man teams in the area, if not the only team. Coach, just talk about that difference and so that our viewers can learn about that.
8-man is, we got 3 down linemen, 4 skilled guys, a quarterback. That's really we got to have 5 people on the line. Really the biggest difference is the 2 tackles and the extra skill guy. Obviously no one really runs zone, so it's all man coverage we're seeing. But outside of that, it's just like 11-man football.
And last year, you guys kind of started off slow, but showed some improvement, and you got some veterans now. Yeah. Let's talk about your team this year.
Last year, we started off slow, really mainly because it took a lot of these first-year guys and a lot of the guys that wasn't used to being in the forefront of the team. They had to get accustomed to what it took to handle that and get the team under control. By the time we ended the year, they understood as long as they come out and do what they're supposed to do and show up day in and day out, and we could be a heck of a team. Going into this year, I'm pretty much expecting us to win a state championship. That's really the only goal. We got a heck of a opponent to do it. Will be Shorecrest. They've won it the last 3 years in a row. But like I told the coach on the phone, all rains have to end at some moment. So as far as we're concerned, it's going to be us.
All right, so talk about some of the players you brought with me today. I know Wiley, I think you're the only freshman that we have had here today. So let's talk about the guys that you brought.
You want me to talk about
Yeah, okay. Talk about that.
Well, Wiley Bird, this is his 2nd year playing with us. This is your 3rd year playing? Oh, he did play a little bit as a 2nd grade. I'm sorry about that. No. But this is his 2nd year starting. He's the youngest of the 3 Bird brothers, which one's graduated, and the other one down there, he's going to be a senior. Like I said on that paper, he's probably one of the best as a young player. He's probably one of the best players we coached. He has a lot on his shoulders, but he handles it well. He's adjusting well. He's easy to coach. And I really couldn't say, I could be here talking all day about Wiley Bird. It ain't really much other than that. He gets it done through day in and day out. Everett, on the other hand, I tell him all the time, he doesn't really know how good he is. Hopefully we figure that out before this year is over with. He has aspirations to play at the next level, which is possible. He has the size and the ability to do so. We know it's a little difficult playing 8-man, but it is a goal that we do believe is attainable. He went to a couple camps this year and showed what he can do. So we're looking at this year and then the off season going into 2026, he'd be able to prove to some colleges that he can play. Easton Watson, he's not our starting quarterback, but he is going to be playing a handful for us. Our starting quarterback, Clay Dees, he had a youth camp this week, so he's going to show up. Gotcha. But before I get to Easton, I do want to speak a little bit on Clay. Clay's, for all intents, he's the best player in the state. There's no individual player that's going to play better than Clay Dees is going to play this year. The only thing that really holds Clay back is Clay. And everybody on the team, they all, push him and make sure he's doing what he has to do because, it ain't that it started and end with him, but if Clay's going and everybody else going, good luck. That's kind of what, but like I said, with Easton, he's young, he's finna be a sophomore. We expected him to be able to come in, not a whole lot of pressure, be able to get in, and that way we can move Clay around to wide receiver, running back, be able to get him in different spots to be able to put us in a better position to be able to attack defenses. And Easton is going to be able to throw the ball around and do what he has to do. Braden Dalton, it's his 2nd year. Is it 2nd year or 3rd year? 2nd year. This is his 2nd year with us. He's my little mini-me, I call him. He's on the field, he's doing everything. He's calling out, formations. He's making sure he's a coach's dream, hard-nosed kid. He's tough as heck. I've seen it firsthand. There's times where he didn't have to play, but he was going to fight. There's a time the year before last where he couldn't play and it was killing him because he hurt his neck. So he's a tough kid and he's a smart kid, and we look for him to have a big year. Top Mills, second in state in interceptions, but really because people stopped throwing the ball.
Hey, that's a good trait to have.
Yeah. And this is his second year with us. He's a senior, and he's gonna have a great year as well. We're trying to get him thrown around in the game a little more. He get pissed off when I'm throwing the football, so we're gonna try to do that this year. But
gotcha.
But yeah, so those are pretty much the guys we got, and some of the main guys we got on the team.
Yeah, we'll go quickly down the line now with the players. We'll start with you, Wiley, freshman. Like it's most guys when they play high school football, they go the JV route. They kind of don't get to varsity or even start until sometimes they're late junior and maybe their senior year. But you come in as a 3-year guy on the football team. How I don't want to say strange, but just weird is this journey for you? It's very non-traditional for when you compare it to other guys.
I mean, it's because I'm not like them, I guess.
I like that. I like it.
Came in and tried to play as best I can my 7th grade year, and that's when my brother was on the team. 8th grade year, I had a lot of pressure on my shoulders and tried to handle it best I could. I guess I handled it pretty well because I'm still playing.
So talk about this, like just briefly about you're going into your freshman year, so you still got your whole high school career ahead of you. You're not on the tail end like some guys who are making a final push. You still have everything in front of you. What are you working on right now in your freshman year just for your personal goals?
Working on mostly just the things I wait, hold up. I'm losing words now. Just the basics pretty much. And I'm also working on getting to the next level. I really do I have aspirations to play college, and I think I can do it. I think I have plenty of time, so hey, I see where it goes.
Yeah. What's it like playing with your brother?
It's awesome. Well, my older brother Lawson, he's playing the position I play now, and it's kind of surreal playing the thing he was, because I've seen him do it forever. As far as I can remember, I see him play football. Learning from him, learning things from him. Kind of like my second coach.
Yeah. And we'll move down the line right to Braden Dalton, to the left, listed as a linebacker and running back. Just again, with the difference between 8-man and 11-man, I don't think people realize it is similar, but there are a lot of differences. Talk about that on the defensive side of the ball. Just how different is it from your traditional 11-man football as a linebacker on an 8-man team?
It's really not that different.
Yeah.
We have 2 extra guys instead of the normal 6, but I mean, other than that, it doesn't change that much.
Yeah, and just for you as a linebacker, is it a lot more, out in space instead of necessarily in the box with the 8-man defense, or is it just seems...
It's more in the box,
Okay.
It's always contained.
Gotcha. And for you as a linebacker, do you feel more comfortable off the ball, middle? What are your strengths for this defense?
Well, I like more in the middle because I feel like I have more control.
Gotcha.
And sometimes I'll be up on the ball, but...
Gotcha. And it says here you're listed, you play running back as well, correct?
Yes, sir. Not as much, but I do play.
Okay. And just talk about that, playing both ways, for a smaller team. What do you enjoy about it? Anything like that?
I mean, it's nice to be involved in the team,
Yeah.
Putting everything you got and, just trying to beat the other team.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll keep moving right down the line. We'll go to Easton next, listed at quarterback. Coach talked about how they want to get you on the field. You're still kind of a backup in developing. Talk about the development throughout this offseason this year for you.
Really got to work on my footwork the most. Got to get my timing down a lot. But I think it'll be good. I think I can develop a lot this offseason.
And how helpful is that you aren't being thrown into the fire and having to learn that while leading the offense? You kind of get to sit back and learn from the starter and see what happens while you continue to develop.
It's honestly great. Clay's a great leader. He teaches me a lot. Coach Keith does his best as well. He's good. DJ, he's a great offensive line. I mean, got best supporting cast I could ask for.
Yeah. And again, continuing the trend, because you guys are the only 8-man team that we have here, what's it like playing quarterback on an 8-man football team versus an 11-man?
Definitely have to be more elusive. There's not much time in the pocket. But honestly, it's easier to read coverages, no safeties, so
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. We'll move right down to Everett. We just spoke to your younger brother. He talked a little bit about playing with you. What's it like playing with your younger brother?
It's pretty crazy because you got to be like a role model to him, show him how to be when you get older.
And Coach talked about how they're, to play up to your abilities and things like that. You have aspirations for the college level. Your final year, what are some of the goals that you want to hit?
Winning state is one of my goals. Winning state, I won in freshman year. Trying to get back to that.
Gotcha. And as a senior, a bit of a rough season last year. Slow start, but you guys finished strong. How much did that strong finish help you guys and motivate you guys throughout this offseason?
It motivated us a lot. It motivated when we were playing our rival and we blew them out with water. That really motivated us near the end of the season.
And we'll finish right off with Ty Mills listed at corner and receiver. Ty has it listed here, 3 interceptions in the first game last year, and you were second in the entire state in interceptions.
Yes,
Let's talk about that again, 8-man versus 11-man, playing on the corner and having less guys on the field. What is that like as a corner?
Well, I was lucky enough to play 11-man before I got here, so it's I wouldn't say it's much different, but there's definitely a big difference to it. You got a little more room to work with. An 8-man, a little more stuff you can cover. An 11-man, it was kind of you played your position, but an 8-man, you gotta kind of play the field more so than you gotta do 11.
Gotcha. And it also says here that you play receiver, so you play both ways, correct?
Yes, sir.
And as a playing both ways, does that kind of help you in the other position? For example, as a corner, you know what traits the receivers have, and it helps you with your coverage. Does that help you in a way?
Yes, sir. I'd say it makes you see the route tree a little better. The footwork's kind of, I wouldn't say it's basically the same, but the routes they're running is going to be the kind of the same routes you're running. You can go through the route tree a lot easier.
I gotcha. And we'll wrap it up with Coach right here. I'll pass down the mic real quick, but Coach, just final thoughts on your team. I know you have state aspirations this year. What are some of the things that you guys need to do this year to reach those goals?
We just got to play fast, be physical, be consistent, show up each and every day, focus on the little things. They got all the ability to make all the big plays, and they seen that in the spring. We played a lot of the best teams in 8-man in the spring jamboree. It was like 10 teams. It was like 8 teams. And they were pissing me off because they was halfway playing.
Yeah.
And making big plays. But it's like if they focus on the little things, some of the best teams we're going to play, they're going to struggle because we're consistently doing what we're supposed to do and being able to make big plays versus just focusing on the glitz and glamour of the game. Yeah, the deep pass, and that's cool. But can we, walk on the field and get 3-4 yards when we need to get 3 or 4 yards? That's kind of the main thing. And I think they all starting to understand that. They're starting to understand the game a little better. They're starting to understand, what we're asking from them even better. So that's really what's going to separate us. And then the additions that we're making to the team, as well as from a player standpoint, as well as from the coaches. We added a coach this year that's going to be really good for us on the defensive line and even on the offensive line as well, former coach of mine. And like I say, y'all can just put everybody on notice. We finna go win a chip.
Gotcha.
That's the end of the story.
All right, awesome, Coach. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you guys for your time, and we wish you the best of luck this season.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
I got to ask, do you have Marion Island? Alrighty, welcome back to the 2024 North Central Florida High School Football Media Day, hosted at the Alachua County Sports and Event Center at Celebration Point in Gainesville. Today's event is broadcast live on FloridaHSFootball.com, including YouTube and Facebook at Florida HS Football and X at FLA HS Football. I'm Cam Parker. With me now is the Fort White Indians, led by Coach Demetric Jackson. His second stint at Fort White returned after last year. Coach, welcome. Just talk about your team in this offseason and how it's gone for you guys.
Have a great team coming back. Team that went 9-1 last year regular season, made it to the playoffs. Returned bulk of our players. We had defensively by LaCosta Bird, Hayden McCory on defense, and also have Tafari Moe. Offensively, quarterback returns junior Jaden Jackson, and our center, we brought it with us today, James Demaro. We had some additions to this team that we feel gives us a chance to really go far.
And I, just with this team and the 9-1 record last year, what are some of the things that you guys are really pushing to improve on to get over that hump and that one loss?
One of the things is we really want to focus on each week, each game, as we prepare for a long season. We don't want to kind of look ahead. We just kind of want to take each game as they come. But also it's very important that we get a good seed, kind of helps you in the playoffs. So every game is very important based on the RPI ranking. But there are definitely some games out there that we kind of circle in the back of our minds that we need to make sure we take care of those teams or give them our best shot.
And for you personally, you're one of the more veteran coaches in the area. Your second stint at Fort White, but 16th overall year. Just how much has high school football in the area and in the state has changed since you started?
Oh, wow. It's changed drastically, especially in the last, I would say, last 4 years. Things kind of started changing, when they had the COVID. You had a big push with the concussion deal, and there was a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but there were some parents and the media kind of started, should our son play football? And so dealing with that concussion, and then you had COVID come in, and next thing you know, the whole landscape of NIL and players transferring and the state allowing you to go to any school that you want, kind of changed a lot of the dynamics of high school football. We're kind of in a situation where we don't have to experience a whole of that. It's good and it's bad. We don't have a whole lot to offer. I mean, we have pretty much 3 businesses in the town of Fort White. So there's not a whole lot of NIL deals that we have to worry about. On the same token, we don't have to worry about our kids leaving, kind of ways to go to the next school. We get 1 or 2 players in from other schools. But for the most part, we've kind of been able to tread on the good side of all the transition that's happening in high school football.
Gotcha. And we'll get started with the players right away. We'll start with LaCosta Boyd, the linebacker. Bird. Gotcha. Misprint on the paper. So just talk about this defense for Fort White and what have you seen so far?
I feel like we've seen really great things. Like, we go out to practice every day, work hard. We got some great young players on the defensive line, some great veterans, some leaders on the defensive line. And me as a leader as a linebacker core, I think we got a real strong front 7 and some great guys in the secondary as well.
And what are some of the things that you're working on personally? And you're a senior this year, correct?
Yes,
what are some of the things that you're working on for your final year?
I was working on perfecting all the small details, and just becoming a better player overall. It's like focusing on one game at a time, and just being the best player I can be every day at practice, and being a leader to my teammates.
Yeah, awesome. And we'll keep moving down the line. We have Tafari Moe right after, a receiver. Talk about this Fort White receiving core. I know you guys also brought in Mike Peterson Jr. He's in there now. You guys have a great quarterback too. How is the cohesiveness of that unit and the passing game for Fort White?
Yes, sir. I think our receiver core is great this year. I think it helps that we got a quarterback that's coming back, a great quarterback, and our O-line, we got a great O-line. So I think with that, and I think we've been going over our plays. We're learning the plays and the concepts. So I think it's very cohesive, and I think it's going to go good.
And again, another senior. Just talk about the veteran presence of this team and how it's going to help you guys.
I think the veteran presence is good. It brings experience, so we can lead. Yes, sir.
All right, and we'll keep moving down. The only offensive lineman in the group, James, holding it down for us. Just, again, you guys have plenty of skill positions and weapons. Talk about this offensive line unit. How do they help this group and these skill players, do their jobs effectively? And how is it having such talented skill position players, and how are they able to help you guys as offensive linemen?
Well, I mean, having the skill players that we have is great. Our offensive line is getting better day by day. I think the skill players help us because they do their job, we do our job, and we'll succeed at the end of the day.
And talk about your leadership style for the offensive line. Sometimes, leaderships on the offensive line can be a little bit different for other skill positions in general. So, what's your leadership style for this group?
I mean, I just like to make sure everybody's on the same page and that we're all ready to go 100% every play.
All right, awesome, and we'll keep it going down there. You said who is Hayden McCrory? Gotcha. Had a different number listed for you, so I got confused. So Hayden is a linebacker on defense. Talk about this Fort White defense again. Just what have you seen so far? How are you helping them as a leader? And what can we expect going forward?
I mean, yeah, we had a couple additional pieces, to our defense. But as Scoop said, we got a great front seven and very experienced D line, and I think we're gonna be very solid on the defensive side of the ball this year. So we're looking good.
And talk about some of the improvements you guys made from last year to this year to help you guys get past that 9-1 record and make a deep run in the postseason.
Honestly, it's just details. That's really what we've been pushing all summer. Lock in is the little things, the details that really change a game. So that's what we're focused on this year.
Gotcha. And we'll finish it up with the quarterback, Jaden Jackson. Jaden, we talked about the receiving core. Just again, how does that for you as a quarterback having talented players on the outside, but also good offensive line in front of you?
A good offensive line, I mean, they also give me a lot of time back there, but I got some guys who really go after it, and they perfect their craft, and they make my job a lot easier.
Gotcha. And it says here that you also play defensive back. Is that correct? Talk about the defensive back room for Fort White.
The defensive back aspect of it, I mean, we got a lot of guys returning too, a lot of communication, but a lot of new guys coming in. So we just got to all get on the same page and focus on the details.
All right, awesome. I appreciate it. Coach, any final thoughts, anything that we should look out for with Fort White this year?
No, just bring a great brand of football. I mean, we got guys that we can play smash mouth, we can play spread, we can play all different types of concepts. But, the culture of Fort White football is on the rise. I mean, we really feel good about this particular class. We're led by a strong group of seniors that played a lot of football, and so we look forward to seeing them this upcoming season. Got a lot of talent, a lot of guys got a chance to go off onto the next level. Got some young guys that are really paving their way and doing some great things. So I'm just excited to get this season started. Probably the biggest thing that I see with this team is the chemistry that we have. There's a major difference between some teams that I've had in the past and compared to this team here. They really like to be around each other, and I think that'll carry you far.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys coming out tonight, hanging out with us, and putting up with the delay. We appreciate you guys sitting through it and your patience, and we wish you guys the best of luck going forward this year.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back to Gainesville. We now move on back to Marion County to Ocala. The Trinity Catholic Celtics are here, and Coach John Brantley. Is this your sixth year, the second time?
Second session. It's my fifth year and the second time, and I guess this would be my 16th year.
Yeah, right. I think it was 10 the first. Yeah. So, and again, your team a year ago. I mean, you look at your record and you go 6-8. It was a strange year, wasn't it? I mean, your schedule was
3-7 during the regular season.
I know, and again, but you made it back to the state championship game, and I know that was a tough one. But that's 2 years in a row you've been able to get to that point.
Yep, and we challenge our kids at Trinity Catholic. I mean, so the schedule's never going to be easy.
Right.
Number one, nobody wants to return phone calls about scheduling and everything. So. We deal with that. We've been dealing that with years since Kerwin Bell was there. So we'll continue to do that. And we got, I think, 8 of the 10 teams we play this year are going to be they were in the playoffs last year. So this year's no different as far as scheduling.
And I know that can only really help you playing the schedule.
Well, it did last year, obviously. I mean, you go 3-7 in the regular season. You say, what are they even doing in the playoffs? Well, we knew if we could stay healthy and get through playing the Reigns of the Worlds and playing that tough schedule, CCC, state championship team. I mean, we played some excellent football teams. So we knew if we could get back to the playoffs, we knew we could make a run. And obviously we got within 45 seconds of winning a third state championship at Trinity Catholic.
Yeah, I got a chance to see those games in Tallahassee, and I know it didn't come out the way you wanted it to, but I think that game and maybe that mainland St. Augustine game were probably the best games of the weekend, at least as far as competition goes. It was a really good back and forth game.
Well, anytime you can get in that position, win a game, and we had Cooper Baddix kick a 49-yard field goal with 1:11 to go, and to go up, 27-24. I mean, the bench is excited, everybody's excited. You feel that you're getting ready to go get a new trophy and everything, and then all of a sudden, boom, bam, your guy breaks loose in the back end of the defense and scores a touchdown to beat us. But, it's as I told my kids even that day after the game, there's nothing I can say right now to make you feel any better. But I'm going to tell you what, sometimes in life you'll learn more from a loss than you will a win. So, I had to give them something, and that was the message. But our message all spring and all summer has been finish, and that's what we didn't do last year. If we'd have finished that, we'd have a nice shiny ring up here on our fingers right now, but we learn from it.
You've been on the other side of that too, of course, a few times, and I know probably players that don't hear that at first, they're just upset about losing, but still, you're right, sometimes you do take a lot of it, and it probably works as motivation again for this team.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be more important now because we're young. Marty, we're only going to have 4-5 starters coming back from last year. We lost a lot of good seniors, and we've lost some good players to IMG and some other places. And so we got to rebuild there at Trinity, but we got just enough older guys that we can lean on and have some great leadership. And we've had a super spring. We had a great summer. Our young kids are working hard, and we're excited about this year.
By the way, I forgot to mention this, but the Trinity Catholic segment today at North Central Florida High School Football Media Day brought to you by Meldon Law, the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Meldon Law, where we won't back down, proudly serves North Central Florida region with offices in Gainesville, Ocala, and Lake City. Visit Meldon Law on the web at meldonlaw.com or give them a call at 352-373-8000. Sorry, I had to get that in there.
Mr. Meldon's supporting his old Gators.
That's right, exactly. And he's a big, big Gator supporter. But so you were mentioning the team, so pretty young. How many guys do you have coming back?
Like I said, probably four starters coming back.
That's it
now. And we're going to have a new quarterback, Carter Schofield, who's up here with us today. He takes over the reins. Our junior quarterback had to move to South Florida. His dad got a job. He was in the medical business and had to move to South Florida. So we lost him as well amongst the seniors we lost. you know, you don't go to state championships with young guys, I can tell you that. So we lost some good players, but we got good players coming back. You got 2 outstanding seniors up here today that played a big part in last year's game and everything, and they're ready to take the reins and be leaders on this football team.
Yeah, looking at the district, and now they've changed it again, so it's not.
It's us and
1A.
PK again.
It's 1A.
It's
I know
just
it's
like-
the same.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I mean, it's the same there. I mean, they call it 1A now. Now rural used to be the old 1A or 1. Yeah, but yeah, I was going to ask you. It's the same pretty much. PK.
Well, we got it's the same district.
Yeah.
But you know, it's totally different classification.
Right.
Now they combine metro and suburban together.
Yeah.
Which that would be a whole other meeting we could sit up here and talk about. I think it's the worst thing. I thought they finally hit on something that was great.
You like that?
And then they got rid of it. And
Okay.
so, you know, it's not a good thing. I thought the Metro gave everybody a chance to go try and win a state championship.
I feel like I've had a lot of kind of even on that one. Some coaches say they like this way, some like like that way.
Yeah. So
And I don't think it. I'm pretty sure they're never going to get a system that completely works for everybody.
No, you're not going to make everybody happy.
I know they keep trying to tweak it. FHSA does, but and you mentioned the schedule. Who do you have on the schedule this year? I'm guessing it's not quite as brutal as last year.
No, we traveled a lot last year.
Yeah.
As you know, we went to Key West,
Yeah.
went up to Cincinnati to play St. Xavier, went to Jacksonville, played Rains. We went to Melbourne. We went to Naples.
Right.
We went to Tallahassee. So we bounced around. We really challenged kids, but what an experience for a high school kid to get on a bus or and travel to those places and participate and see parts of the state or the country they wouldn't see as far as football. And we were in some of the dangest places playing ball, and we had a ball. And I think that helped us down the road too. You know, nothing was going to get, you know, our attention in the playoffs as much as playing St. Xavier in front of 8,000 people in
that's right.
Cincinnati.
You went
So
up there.
they were out there. So our kids were ready for anything we got in the playoffs. So now we got to reinvent that wheel, and we're excited about getting that started. But we got good teams. Got Tampa Catholic, got Melbourne Central Catholic, who we played in the playoffs. Then we got Forest. I'm excited. We playing Forest High School, my old high school. And the thing that's kind of neat about that's going to be the celebration of the 50th anniversary of the 1974 state championship team, the first one in Marion County, which I was fortunate enough to be the quarterback on. And Scott and Brantley, my brother, was a linebacker.
Right.
So they're going to make that into a big celebration when Trinity heads over to Forest Week 3. And then we got CCC, who you know was in the state championship game. And I can go on Calvary Christian, Newberry, and then PK Yonge will be our lone district game.
Yeah, about back when Forest High School was downtown in Cali, right? Wasn't that the school?
In a neighborhood.
Moved out there, yeah, that's I mean, a pretty good schedule. No trips to Ohio this year, though, right?
No, or Key West.
Or Key West. I about to say that's a long bus ride too, I'm sure. All right, if you can, Coach, just tell me a little bit about the guys you got with you here.
Well, right here I got Luke Rudiani. Luke Rudiani he's our kind of player. I mean, he can play on both sides of the ball, running back, linebacker, and even probably one of the better long snappers in the state of Florida. He does all that. Great player, great instinct on getting to the ball and everything, and just your typical Trinity Catholic hard-nosed player.
Okay, and then you got Carter.
Got Carter Schofield, a new quarterback, 6'2", 180 pounds, spins it well. We're excited about him. Had a great spring and finished off with a good game against Bellevue in the spring game, and we're counting on him. But the thing that we can't do with Carter, we can't expect Carter to go out there and win us football games by himself. He's got to lean on his teammates, and we got to put kids around him and a system in place that's going to make him successful, but not putting the game. We used to do that a couple of times with Cole Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we put too much on his plate, so we don't need to put that on Carter. Carter needs to have the support of not only the coaching staff, but the team around him to be successful, and that's why I think he's going to do a great job with that.
It's funny, I just heard Kerwin Bell on the radio yesterday, see Russell talking about Cole.
Yeah. I had him out at the Manning camp. I got him
Yeah.
invited out the Manning camp. He did a great job out there. Then I got Kyler Poole, who's a senior offensive lineman, both O-line, D-line. Didn't play any D-line for us. Going to have to this year. but he was our starting tackle in the state championship game last year. Just a tremendous student and an outstanding football player, and we're going to really lean on his leadership this coming year.
All right, we'll go ahead and start with Luke here. We'll talk to the guys. You got the microphone, so you'll move that down eventually, but we'll talk to you first. But Luke, you're senior, right? So, I mean, your last year. How's the off season been coming into this year?
I think this off season, our guys have really been working hard, and since we got a lot of young guys like us seniors, like we're trying to show them like what to do so they can carry that on throughout the years TC.
I'm sure it's tough to get to the championship and not quite win it, but I mean, how much motivation is that for you guys? I mean, because Coach said it's going to be maybe a little different team this year.
Yeah, we're definitely a lot younger, but going back-to-back state championships and losing, like that really fuels the fire to go back this year.
Yeah. Now you're both linebacker and running back. You play, but are you mostly the starting number one running back?
Last year I didn't play much running back. I was just mainly linebacker. This year,
linebacker?
Playing both.
You're playing both. Okay. Which one do you like? Like one better?
They're both fun. Probably linebacker. You're in on every single play.
Every single play, right? Is there any game that you're most looking forward to? Maybe
Forest.
Big one. I don't think y'all played Forest.
Well, we have. We've played them twice.
Okay.
But in my previous stint there, we played them at both our place and over at Forest. So we're 2-0 against Forest. So
all right.
We hope to keep that streak alive.
Yeah, I was trying to think. The only school I remember y'all playing was North Marion, maybe.
We played them. We played Vanguard
You
4
did play-
times.
Oh, okay, gosh,
I was
I
there
remember.
and played Bellevue.
Okay,
and
used to play a lot of them then.
We've played most of them at least once or twice. But
Yeah, that's always big.
Yep.
Always a big game. All right, Luke, we'll go ahead and have you pass it on to Carter. Carter Schofield, you're the junior quarterback. This is going to be your first year as a starter, huh? How are you looking forward to this?
Just ready to work. Game's kind of slowed down for me, and just ready to work as a team, build the chemistry that we need.
I know I'm sure it's with the success your team's had. It's got to be tough for you, but I mean, that's got to be something you can get you motivated, right, to be that good. But how has your off season been getting ready?
A lot of working out, a lot of throwing, just bonding with the new kids, just being leaders, just training.
Your coach used to be a quarterback. Does he help you a little bit? Yeah, just a little bit.
There's a little pressure being the quarterback at Trinity Catholic. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had some good ones, and Carter's going to be expected to roll in there with just like the rest of them. So we'll have him ready to go.
Yep. Any game you're looking forward to this year as a Forest?
I'll say Forest, but just week 1, just coming out strong.
Every game, right? Good answer. All right. Finally, we'll talk to Kyler Poole on the line, offensive lineman. And looking forward to blocking for these guys here.
Yes, sir.
Now, you're a senior. You've been starting the last few years. So,
Yes.
I'm sorry?
I transferred in last year.
You transferred in last
yes,
year,
sir.
okay.
So it was my first year playing with TC last year.
Okay. And again, how was it kind of a strange year? I mean, you're going through the season. It had to have been a little strange. And, you're 3-7, but you're like, oh, wait, we're going to the playoffs, and we almost won it. How?
Yeah, it was definitely a crazy year. We had lots of fun last year, traveling a bunch, and it was really cool to be able to go experience the state championship first year at TC for me, and to experience the fellowship and the brotherhood that we had last year was unbelievable. So,
Actually, how was that trip to Key West? Did you take the bus down there?
It was miserable.
Well, I liked it because I stayed in the hotel room,
okay.
and they put us up. They put you up down there. They got barracks down there.
Really?
And it's kind of neat, and but the AC wasn't working halfway, so our kids struggled with a little bit of that. But got them out early and got the conch train going, and they got to visit and see the whole area of Key West, and that's an experience. They may never get back down there, some of them. So I thought it was a great trip.
Yeah,
and we won big too.
Yeah,
beat 'em.
Won big. That's right.
First
We
game.
did. I've been in Florida all my life, and I didn't get to Key West till I was probably 30. I mean, you're right. It seems like it's in another planet almost. It's so far away, but anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming. Thank you, Kyler, and thank you, Coach. It was good seeing you
Thank
again.
you.
Good luck this year. Thanks for coming up to Gainesville today.
Well, we appreciate what y'all do for high school football, and hope to see you guys somewhere along the road at Trinity Catholic.
Me too. All right. Sean Brantley and his team, Trinity Catholic Celtics. Good luck this year, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm joining the band, of course. Since Meldon Law is the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, I want to help.
Dad, we're litigators. Let's stick to helping people in the courtroom.
Well, can we still hang out and jam a little bit? At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
Live with Marty. Sam and Marty Show.
Hi, it's Coach Daniels, Cedric Daniels. You heard him there. We'll introduce him in a minute as we welcome you back here to Gainesville. And the Hawthorne Hornets are here. We'll talk to them in a second. But first, let's talk about their team segment brought to you by, is this right? Davis Chevrolet, thank you. Davis Chevrolet is Gainesville's locally family-owned and operated car dealership that is staffed with friendly associates whose number one concern is your complete satisfaction. Our goal at Davis Chevrolet is to earn your business for life. Visit GainesvilleChevy.com, visit the dealership at 2600 North Main Street, or call them at 352-565-4892. All right, had to get that business out of the way. All right, we are joined this afternoon and soon this evening by Hawthorne, and defense coordinator Cedric Daniels is sitting in here for head coach Cornelius Ingram. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, man, likewise.
And
always fun.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? It's been a lot of fun last couple of years, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, back-to-back state titles, back-to-back undefeated seasons. It's been quite a run out there in Hawthorne.
It has, and it's real fun when everything works out. You know, our guys, you know, they work extremely hard. I think we probably go from January to literally December, and then we crank right back up in January. The guys who aren't playing basketball ultimately turn around and are in the weight room grinding it out or on the track. So our guys, they kind of force us when we want days off. We never get days off because they're expecting us to keep the weight room open for them.
I mean, that's how you win these state titles, right? These guys are working extra time and everybody coming in and working hard. But so, you know, that last season was, I know that, I mean, it wasn't, there were some close games, but I mean, for the most part, I know the Madison game, that must have been nice too to get them back after the game 2 years earlier.
It always is. You know, I'd rather, and I think everybody will tell you, any coach will say they'd rather get beat 100-0 than lose by a point. You know, we pretty much dominated that 1 year we played them, and we had, you know, a botched snap. They blocked the punt and returned it to the 1 yard line, and you know, they beat us by a point. You know, so obviously when we had a chance to get our lick back, you know, it was fun. You know, and to have it end the same way, pretty much it ended the year before, you know, made it even better.
So this year's team, I read 5 offense, 6 defense returning, and is it going to be about the same experience-wise, or a little bit younger?
It should be about the same. I think the bulk of our team, like the strength this year is going to be, you know, obviously Keenan returning our running back, and we are going to have a offensive line that are returning, I think, several starters. So we'll be able to lean on them like we have in the past, and allow our offense to eventually get to where they need to be. Kari DeBose had a great spring. He transferred in from Gainesville High School. Obviously, Keenan had a great spring. You know, we have little Bowie, who saw a lot of Darian Bowie had a lot of reps on varsity last year. Had, I think, probably 3 or 4 touchdowns as a freshman. So we're reloaded on offense. Defense, you know, we returned Jaheim Darby and Nazai Jen and Zion Johnson and Leland Johnson. So we got guys coming back in the right places to step up and be leaders and help guys out. You know, and it also helps when we get, you know, a few transfers in. You know, Ethan Thomas is coming to play his senior year with us. He's a long, lanky defensive end. So it's it'll be pretty fun.
Yeah, we talk about football and the back-to-back state titles, but well, CI's coach girls basketball back-to-back state titles. I mean, right now it seems like all the Hawthorne teams are really, basketball, football-wise, are doing really well.
Yeah, and that's the good thing. And the girls train with the boys, and you know, it's never a day off, and it's a good thing. Like even when practicing, CI will tell you when we finish football practice, the boys are going to shoot basketball until we kick them out the gym. You know, it's almost like, well, maybe we should go back out to practice and practice more. But you know, the girls obviously are rolling, and they're returning a bulk of their team as well. So we look for, you know, all of our programs, even the baseball program this year, and even the girls softball, to turn the tables and start competing more for titles.
Well, you know, they've gone back to what they call the rural class, so that's not 1A or 1R anymore, but it's the same pretty much, I know, for you guys. And we talked about the schedule. you don't play any rural 1A teams until the postseason. Your schedule is all teams that are in higher classifications.
Yeah, the way our schedule is set up, it'll even itself out and have us prepared for the playoffs. Whether you win them all or lose them all, we don't ever want to lose anything, but we definitely are we'll be playoff ready. We have Florida High, Oak Leaf, Newberry, IMG, whatever team that is, so we're going to travel, and like I say, when the playoffs get here, we'll be ready for whatever team shows up.
One of the IMGs.
One of them.
Yeah. They got 4, I think, teams there.
Yeah, it's definitely not the national team, though.
Yeah, that team, they basically have just become, I think that school just exists for football, for sports, basically, at this point.
Right.
I think that's really what they're doing. They're an academy for that, obviously. All right, Coach, let's go ahead and introduce the guys you got with you.
Right next to me, we have Jaheim Darby. He's our returning nose tackle. We have Keenan Johnson, returning hard-nosed running back. We got Ethan Thomas. He's new to us. And we have Tyler Duncan as well, who's new to us.
Okay, let's start with down here with Jaheim. He's got the microphone right there. You can pick that up if you want to use it. Or the other one. The other one there. So, Jaheim, how's it feel, back-to-back state championships last 2 years? I mean, it's been quite a run, hasn't it?
Yeah, it feels good, Coaches always, just help us to get to be back-to-back. We're always in the weight room. They always pushing us hard and stuff like that.
And your team, too, seems like it's really predicated by defense. I mean, defense leads the way. The defense is, you guys shut down your opponents. You don't need to score a lot of points, but, I mean, as far as that goes, what can you do better this season? I mean, if you're working on something.
I mean, it's always like that. I mean, offense always kind of struggle, but then pick it back up, so they lean on the defense a lot. But, we kind of ready for that stuff. Defense always ready.
Is there a game on the schedule you're looking forward to?
Couple. Newberry. Who else?
Newberry, right?
South Sumter, like that.
Yeah,
South Sumter, yeah.
Playing them. That's right. Tough down there.
Yeah, we're on the road. Yeah,
that's a tough place to go. Yep. And Newberry, that's right. Newberry 2A. So yeah, they're now higher, technically higher classification. But what's it going to take for this team to do this again?
Just buy in, focus. We already got good chemistry with anybody that comes in. We just got to buy in and work hard. Work harder than everybody else.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Pass it along to Keenan. Keenan Johnson, senior. You're the running back, and a big year for you last year. And I know that I think a couple years ago it seemed like you used a few different running backs. Last year you were pretty much the feature guy. How did it feel to be part of that team last year, win another state title, and be that leader?
It felt good, just because everybody was brought in and we held each other accountable, and I helped in a big way, it just felt good.
You guys, your senior class pretty close knit. You guys know each other well?
Yes, we all close with each other. We all know each other well. Just feel good playing with the boys on the field. We all on the same page.
I know it's hard to improve from being undefeated and winning state title, but what's the goal? I guess is to win it again, right? Do 3 in a row.
Make the playoffs, go to state again.
Not bad. All right, thanks, Keenan. This is Ethan Thomas. All right, Ethan. What position?
The DN.
DN. Okay. So you've come into Hawthorne this year. Where were you previously?
I was previously at Santa Fe.
Santa Fe. Okay. So how's the off season been? Kind of. When did you join the team? Like in the spring?
I joined the team for the second semester of last school.
So how's it been? Kind of getting used to.
It's been good. It's a lot harder than our last school. It seems like in the weight room and stuff. A lot more of a push, I'd say. But yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you're stepping into a team that's won back-to-back. I mean, how's that How's that kind of get you motivated to join this team and kind of be in the middle of it?
It's really motivating. I just kind of want to do whatever I can to help the team out wherever they need me. I've been playing a little bit of tight end too. So
I don't have this listed. Are you a senior too?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's last year. I mean, what's it going to take for this team to do it again?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry. I hear it. I can't hear it anyway. All right, and finally, Tyler Duncan.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to guess you play the line.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you play both ways too? I think mostly
offensive line, but I will play
mostly offensive line.
Hopefully play defensive line.
Well, which position are you?
Guard or center.
Right or
left guard.
You play left guard or center? You said. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, how have you been working out in the off season to, get better? Oh, is this your first year at Hawthorne too?
Yes, sir.
Where did you come in from?
Keystone Heights.
Oh, okay. What have you been working on this off season?
Mostly conditioning. Of course, we've been working out in the weight room, and I try to push them as much as I can. Coming from a weightlifting background, at Keystone, we mostly just weightlifted, and I want to push them as much as I can, getting stronger, but mostly I've been working on just getting faster and being more conditioned.
All right. We appreciate it, Tyler. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming today, Coach, and we will see you down the road this year, I'm sure, at some point. Looking forward to get it going again.
Hopefully we see you in Tallahassee, right?
That's right, or wherever the state championships are. We're talking about. All right, that's Hawthorne Hornets, two-time defending state champs, and their defense coordinator, Cedric Daniels, joining us here today. We will return. 2 more to go. Coming up, it's Suwannee after this.
Davis Gainesville Chevy's gigantic summer sell-off. Ford can't do it, Dodge can't do it. Only Davis Chevy has new Colorados and Silverados $10,000 off from $299 a month. Even new Traverse, Blazers, and Trax, 0 down or $229 a month. Right now, today, if you're looking for a new Chevy truck or SUV from $229 a month or $10,000 off, give us a call, come by the store, or visit us online at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet. We're here for you.
Okay, welcome back. We are now joined by the Suwannee Bulldogs and Coach Kyler Hall. 9th year for you, Coach.
Yes,
and,
sir.
Let's talk a little bit about last year. 6-4, and probably not what you wanted, but what did you see from that team last year, and kind of as the year went on?
Had a good start. Started out 6-0 and confidence. Get to the back end of the schedule with Wakulla, Bradford, Madison. More competitive teams, and didn't handle things well. Had a tough loss against Wakulla. Could have gone either way, but just never really responded from that game. Made it to the playoffs. Ran into a very good Pensacola Catholic team, but not the ideal finish by any means, but was proud, to get back in the playoffs and do some good things. But I think for these returning guys this year, to see the good and the bad, and how you maintain and the importance of practice and staying with it was good going into this off season. But definitely can use the negative of last year to grow this year.
Yeah, I know it's tough to go over there to Pensacola in the first round. It's or anytime really. But a little bit of a trip, even from Live Oak. Yeah, right. That's right. So this year, what are you seeing for this team in the off season, and what are they what do you think is going to be a strength of this team, and what do they need to get better in?
Well, I think just maturity-wise, we have a lot of young skill guys coming up, very talented, just inexperienced at the varsity level. But the biggest freshman class that I've had since I've been here, so that's the rising sophomores. Junior class has added some pieces. Just a lot of unproven guys there. Offensive line probably is the most experienced group. They've had a great offseason just as far as getting bigger, stronger. Breaking in 2 new quarterbacks. Michael Rosen, kind of the veteran skill guy coming back. On offense and defense, Logan Brooks, tight end, an experienced guy. So just leaning on those seniors, to again, they've seen success in the playoffs. And their sophomore year last year didn't finish the way we wanted to, but got to use all those experiences and lead their team this year.
You got a big senior class this year? Or?
Decent size, around 15, 17. So a good mix of returning guys, and but again, the biggest thing I want to see from them is to lead this group, because again, these young guys, very little varsity experience. 2 seniors on the offensive line. We have one here, Will Brown. AJ hit our kicker. He was banged up a lot last year, but has had a really good off season, got himself stronger, and had a really good summer and spring. So looking forward to these guys leading and making plays on the field.
I know they say this year it's 3A District 2. Was the district the same, or was it changed a little bit for you guys?
Yeah, so we're in there with Wakulla, Gobby, and Baker County. So
it's not bad.
It's a lot,
yeah, that's
competitive district.
Yeah,
and we've played Baker many times in the past. Been there.
Right.
Wakulla's turned into one of our biggest rival games, and Gobby is always very athletic, and so from top to bottom, very competitive district, but that's always our number one goal, is the district championship.
What's the rest of the schedule look like?
Very competitive. Columbia's back on the regular season week 1. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Madison week 3. Lafayette, which will be the first time we play them in the regular season, week 2.
Wow.
We go up into Georgia and Appleton County, week 5. And then we have Childs, Taylor County, and Atlantic Coast out of Jacksonville.
Atlantic Coast, okay.
Yeah.
A little higher classification there. And
yeah.
What, you said the first time they played Lafayette?
In the regular season.
In the regular season.
In the past, they played in the spring, but Coach Edwards reached out and said they were looking for a game, a kind of a bigger school than they traditionally play.
Yeah.
So it'd be a big gate, and that's not one that you take lightly by any means. They're very competitive and tough. So.
And you mentioned Columbia. How many years has it been since you played Columbia?
So we brought it back the last 2 years in the Kickoff Classic.
Okay.
There was about a 3 or 4 year gap there in between, but
so regular season this year.
Back in the regular season, so that'll be a big way to kick the season off, and they, tradition speaks for itself there.
Yeah,
and,
that's a good rivalry.
Players, so.
Right, that's a really good rivalry.
It's good to get it back on the regular season.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's when you kind of like to see Suwannee and Columbia.
For sure.
So if you want to talk a little bit about the guys who are with us today, introduce them.
So number 5, Michael Rosen, 3-year starter. You're going to see him at receiver, defensive back, special teams, kind of all over the field. Done a really good job for us. Season ended early last year with an injury, so he's got himself back strong. Looking for a big year out of him. AJ hit, kicker and punter. Pulls all the duties there. Again, he was banged up a little last year, didn't get to kick the way he wanted to, but has got much stronger this offseason. Logan Brooks, tight end, H-back. You'll see me some defensive end as well. Had a tremendous offseason. Baseball kid too, just put a lot of work in. And then Will Brown, you can see him at O-line, D-line, gives great effort, weight room, just very explosive kid. But a very good group of just young men first off and leaders. So going to lean on these guys to pull these underclassmen with them.
Do you have a lot of two-way players? I know
A ton.
A ton of them? Yeah, okay.
Most of them.
I was going to say, because I know you probably have a few more players than that, but I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of two-way, which is for Suwannee's traditionally been the case of two-way guys. So that's just kind of part of how we do it and what we have to do. But when we can spell the guys and kind of keep them primarily one side of the ball, we like to do that.
Okay. We'll go ahead and talk to the guys. Michael. It is Michael.
Yes,
so you've been a 3-year starter at quarterback?
No,
I'm
sir.
sorry.
Cornerback, defensive back.
Corner. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I thought I misheard that. I
We
apologize.
attempted some quarterback with him.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Cornerback. Yeah. It's been a long day. But how's the off season been for you as you get ready for your senior year?
Oh, it's been good. Working hard with my teammates and just, yes, sir, it's been good.
Looking forward to your senior year, being
Yes,
the
sir.
leader, and although does it kind of hit you like this last year?
Yes, sir. Just the reality, just work hard and give it my all.
You also been motivated to go a little further in the playoffs this year?
Yes, sir. The goal is state, so.
How was the senior class? Senior class pretty close, you guys?
Yes, sir. We have good bonds.
Yeah. Is there a game in the schedule that you're most looking forward to? I know you got some rivalry games in there, obviously.
Columbia and Wakulla.
Okay, those are the two you were talking about, right? So I guess Wakulla, as you said, that's become a
big district.
rivalry. Yeah, district, right? Exactly. Okay, cool. Thank you, Michael. You can pass it along. AJ hit. So kicker.
Yes, sir.
Punter, and what's your career-long field goal?
I think it's 57. Right.
57 in the game?
Not in a game.
Oh, okay. So sorry.
Game, I think I've only hit like a 40.
That's still
38, 40.
That's pretty good. Yeah. And punter, in your punter too. What's your average punting wise?
I've gotten it up lately. I think right now it's probably like 40, 42, somewhere in there.
Oh,
after the
okay.
snap.
It's pretty good. Would you say one's more difficult than the other to learn? About the same, kicking and punting.
I'd probably say kicking's a little bit more difficult just because there's so much like technique and little things that go into it. And punting, it's not as difficult.
Are you a soccer player? Is that how
Yes,
you?
sir.
That's always how you find kickers, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, that's true. There's always a soccer player. Okay, appreciate it, AJ. Thank you. Can pass it along. That's Logan.
Yes, sir.
And you play tight end and what else?
Receiver and DN.
You're a receiver and DN. Okay,
Yes,
so
Also tight end.
Yeah. And Coach, do you how's your offense? Is it kind of 50-50 or do you mostly
try to keep it balanced? But with Brooks and we have another kid that tight end, give us some flexibility to do some things. So again, Logan, he runs well, catches well, smart, knows the offense, knows where to line up and help other guys get lined up. So very valuable piece of our offense.
Do you prefer offense or defense?
I prefer offense. I like to get the ball, like move it downfield, like score.
Yep. That sounds about right.
Yes, sir.
I've actually had a few people say defense. I mean, it depends. Linemen, if they play O-line and D-line, they'd rather be on the O-line.
Yeah.
It seems like. But on the other side, mostly they want to play defense. But what's it going to take for this team to, improve on last season?
I think in order for us to improve, we just have to come together as a whole team and have each other's backs and just know it's us against everybody.
You looking forward to playing Columbia? They're sitting over here.
Yes, sir. I'm excited about that game.
I mean, it's always been a big rivalry, but
Yes,
it's
sir.
good to have them back on the schedule.
Yes, sir.
And Wakulla is the other team coach is talking about. That's especially after last season. I know you had a tough loss last year. Okay. Appreciate it, Logan. And we'll talk to Will Brown.
Yes, sir.
Will, what are you listed? How big are you?
Height-wise, I give it 6'2".
Okay.
Weight-wise, I ain't really weighed myself. Not
That's
too
all
much
right.
in there,
That's
but
okay. No, we've had some big guys in here today.
He can play running back too.
You play running back. See, that's
he's got great feet. He can run like legit. He can run.
No, I mean there was another lineman here earlier, and he was also running. They said he played running back too. So I mean, that's because they're athletes too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You look at him and you go, yeah, but he's an athlete. And you line him up every now and then.
I can't give all the secrets away.
Ah, okay. That I like to see. But
might be in there.
So senior year for you as well. What have you been working on during the season to get ready, or off season to get ready for this year?
Mostly been in the weight room, trying to work on, just being quick off the ball. Since I play nose guard, but just trying to work on maybe eating up some more gaps, help my linebackers, do their job efficiently.
You're a nose guard on defense, okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's it's good to hear that. So about the running back thing, I like that. Well, all right, guys, we appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with us.
Yes,
I know
sir.
a little
Thank
bit.
y'all.
It's been a long day here, but we appreciate y'all coming down to Gainesville and wish you good luck this season.
Appreciate it.
All right, Coach Kyler Hall and the Suwannee Bulldogs, and one more team to go, the Columbia Tigers in the building. We'll talk to them in just a few moments. All right, thank you. All right. Okay, we're down to the final team here of the North Central Florida High School Football Media Day. Of course, today we're at the Alachua County Athletics and Events Center in Gainesville, and joined, last but not least, the Columbia Tigers, of course, and up in Lake City, Coach Brian Allen. Second year, this second stint for you. You've been there 12 years now as head coach, and I know you wrote that disappointing season. You said looking at the record, but how do you kind of judge last season, looking back on it?
Well, I think anytime you're back in the saddle from being away for a few years, number one, trying to get the wind back in your sail, but secondly, trying to get the culture to where you want it. You know, everybody has their own mindset when it comes down to the culture that they want. I think mine's unique, and we got it there in that first decade of being there. But the first year back, it was a process, breaking some bad habits, creating some good new habits, and one thing that I look back on is starting that job, or this job, in April. How much of a difference it was this off season with us being able to get going in December and taking that through April and into spring ball. You wouldn't really, a lot of people probably don't think about how important that off season time is, those 4 months. But there's a lot of mental training that takes place. There's a lot of strength training that takes place. And, you know, just looking back on a year ago, not having that, but we were able to create a culture to where it's taken off and it's caught fire this year. Having a great off season. I'm really looking forward to it being disappointing a year ago, but the rebound to where we're going to be this year being great.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like you said, the second year has got easier than the first any time, and like you said, it's been smoother the off season getting ready for this year.
Absolutely, like I said, just really encouraged from the standpoint of the staff, and again, everybody being brought in with the group that we have there, but the kids especially. When you start hearing the conversations that you're having as coaches come out of the mouths of the kids, they're getting it. That culture's changing when you're starting to see what they're doing, the impact that they're having within the school, and how that changes as well. As the football players are always the biggest, the most popular, the best looking, that what they're doing, that's what the culture of the school is going to be. And you can start to see that change because of the way they're acting and the things they're doing. You have to get rid of some, but then there's a lot that are going to stay in and buy in, and that's happening in a major way with us right now.
This is a fairly experienced team. You got a lot of seniors, and you got a lot of guys returning on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, that's a big difference from a year ago. You look at the group offensively, there was one kid on the offensive line that had gotten a start with those 5 guys that were on the offensive side of the ball. A young kid in Xavier that's next to me, having to take major quality snaps a year ago, had to start 4 games when he should have been getting development on the junior varsity, but had to step up and play varsity football. And in those 4 starts, he won games. I don't know that I've had a freshman in the 11 seasons that I've been there that threw 4,000 yards, that had double-digit touchdowns. That experience that he gained a year ago is going to help him tremendously going into this year as the guy. So going into this year, we have kids that now aren't first-year starters. They have a season under their belt. They have a lot of quality reps under their belt. We have defensive returners that have played a lot of snaps, but those ones last year that had to play snaps, they played a lot of quality snaps. So although we're breaking in some new guys into their roles, they got quality snaps a year ago, and they won't play like sophomores. They should be playing more like juniors and seniors this year.
So I know a little bit of a change now, 4A District 3, at least for the number, but is your district fairly similar, or there's some changes this year?
No, definitely changes when you add on a St. Augustine. They played for it a year ago.
Yeah, they played for the time.
It's a little bit different than playing Orange Park, Middleburg, and Ridgeview. But Ridgeview did continue in the district. They got a new head coach, but it's a little bit of a shake-up this year when your Week 6 matchup, the first week of districts, is St. Augustine. You hate to look way ahead, but that's probably going to determine your champ. I know those other teams that are involved in it have their own say and opinion in that, but that first week of districts is really going to be a big game. We're really glad to have it at our place, but we've scheduled a tough schedule as always with any of the teams that I have. So by the time we hit districts, we should be rolling.
Yeah, right. St. Augustine always good, and they were a few seconds away from winning against the state title against Mainland. And I know Suwannee's back on the schedule. I know that's probably got to be a big deal for the guys.
Yeah, very excited about that. I don't know the exact number of years, but before I left, it was over a 50-year rivalry that had taken place. So for that to be back on is tremendous for us. We played them last year in the Classic at their place, but for it to be a regular season game and being back on the schedule, not only a regular season game and back on the schedule, but it's the 30th anniversary of our stadium being built at the high school that we played Suwannee first game of the regular season, and that ended up being a Friday night game, rained out, mud bowl as everybody was trying to leave, and us coming back Saturday and replaying it. So it has some different implications from it being the rivalry and it being a 30-year anniversary of us playing.
Yeah, and I'm sure you played at Columbia. Coach Hall was at Suwannee. That's always a big deal. You guys get to play each other. You know how the rivalry goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of like Florida State. Records don't really matter at the point that you get to a rivalry game, although it's week 1 and the records are 0-0. But it doesn't matter who's up, who's down. When that's a rivalry game, everybody's juiced up for it and coming out to play the best ball.
I guess I should have known you'd bring up Florida State. But okay, Coach, if you want to, go ahead and introduce the guys you have with you.
This is my sophomore quarterback, Xavier Collins. Okay. My senior receivers, Marion Jones. Senior receiver, Benton Edge. Senior outside linebacker, Dejon Brown. And senior D-tackle, Caden Bolstein.
Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll start talking to you guys. We'll start with Xavier, right?
Yes, sir.
So Xavier, talk about stepping in last year as a freshman and the year you had as a starting quarterback last year.
When I first stepped in, it was hard, you know. It's hard, like, as a freshman, learning the plays and, you know, learning the offense. Because I was with JV, and I just had to step up because the quarterback got hurt. So being new to everything, it was hard. But I got used to it.
Coach, you said you don't usually have freshmen starting quarterbacks, right?
Doesn't usually happen.
So now, though, now that you have a year under your belt, how much more confident are you coming in as a sophomore to the sophomore year?
It's real. It brings up my confidence a lot since, you know, I had success last year as a freshman.
Now, did y'all do like 50-50, like the pass or run? You kind of do a lot of mix?
A little bit more 70-30 probably.
Right. Okay. Now that's okay. But is there a game on the schedule you're looking forward to?
No, so I'm just looking to play ball.
I'm gonna play ball. All right.
Sir.
Well, you not long. It's a few weeks away. Appreciate it. Okay, let's go ahead. You can pass it on to. That is Marion.
Yep.
Jones. Wide receiver, senior, and how'd you like working with a quarterback next to you last year?
You know, it's good. You know, watching them learn.
Yeah.
Offense more and more. So it's like you can see the progression to where something he couldn't do last week, he can do it this week, and it make it easier for you.
Senior year for you, and does it kind of hit you? This is last season, or just enjoy every moment of it and see how if this team can go a little bit further this year, right?
Oh, we definitely gonna go further this year.
Okay.
But it ain't really hit me yet, you know. It ain't really hit me yet. It might hit me the first game of the season, but right now I just see it as, you know, another season.
Yeah. What's the game you kind of look forward to? Do you have one?
No, I don't really got it. You know, 1 week at a time.
No. Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to. Sorry, I'm using the notes. Ben Edge, yes, senior, another receiver as well.
Yes, sir.
And they get you the ball a lot.
Sir?
Did they get you the ball a lot?
Yes, sir. Every chance that they get.
Yeah, that's good to know as a receiver. But again, same question. How was it working with your freshman? He was a freshman last year. Watching him kind of grow and as a starting quarterback a year ago.
Yes, sir. It's good. I mean, coming in as a freshman, we didn't really have as much timing down, but as it progresses, we started getting our timing down. He knows where we're going to be, and we know when he's going to throw the ball there.
What have you been working on this offseason to get maybe better as a wide receiver or better as a player?
Footwork. I mean, we've been working out. The entire team's been working out real hard, and we've been putting in a lot of work as a whole team.
Coach, what's the strength you'd say this team coming in? What do they probably need to most work on, you think?
A year ago, offensive line was our biggest point of emphasis, is where we placed the biggest point of emphasis, probably with our offensive line. Again, a year ago, our defense had a lot of kids that had started the games, had a lot of success. Offensively, we were breaking in guys that hadn't played varsity snaps a ton. Again, this year, we're going to have guys that have played quality snaps, guys that have started on both sides of the ball. We're breaking in a new secondary. I think we graduated all 4 of our guys that were in the secondary a year ago, but guys are stepping up. We got some quality guys that have joined the family and some guys that have been a part of the family that have stepped up, have worked hard, have worked to perfect their craft and get better day in, day out. And again, I like to say if you had your opportunity to take a shot at us last year, that was your shot, because these guys are going to be a different group. It'll be more of that first 10 years that people saw, that first decade that we were here.
Yeah. All right. If you want to go ahead and pass it down, is that Dejan?
Yep.
Okay. You're a senior as well?
Yes, sir.
Linebacker?
Yes, sir.
How do you like that being a linebacker? How do you like that position, kind of, would you say maybe the leader defensively? Usually linebackers are.
Yes, sir. So linebacker, I love it. I can't do anything without my D lineman. D lineman is first thing. They get the blockers off of me. They keep me free. They let me make plays. So without anything.
I'm sure your coach probably works with the defense a good amount.
Yes, sir, a little bit. Yes, sir.
Some. But it's your senior year too. So what's it going to take for this team to? He said you're going further. What is it going to take for y'all to get over that?
What it's going to take us just relentless intensity. We got to want it enough. We have to want it.
Okay. And finally, we have. Is that? Sorry, I missed.
Caden Bowes.
Caden. Okay. Caden, you play what position?
Defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle. Okay. Well, are you a senior as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what are you looking forward to now this senior year? I mean, last year playing for Columbia, just kind of looking forward to kind of enjoying it mostly.
Well, obviously enjoying it, but just going further than we have in further years, and just bringing the team closer as a family and just going as far as we can.
You guys pretty close, most of the team, the seniors as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're all like a big family.
Is there a game you're kind of looking forward to this year?
Honestly, we're, just go week by week. Just pretty much.
One game at a time, right?
Yes, sir.
That's always the coach speak a little bit, but hey, that's the way it works.
Yes, sir. Next game's always the biggest game.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for coming down to Gainesville today. We appreciate it, and sorry we kept you here so late, but good luck. I know practice starts 12 days, right? July 29th. Yeah. So, and who's your opener? Suwannee. That's right. Who's your kickoff?
We'll start with a kickoff classic against Bradford.
Okay. Yeah. Good start.
Good
too.
test, right?
Good start.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. The Columbia Tigers head coach Brian Allen, and that is the last team we're going to have today. Where's Josh? Coming up, we're going to have apparently a esteemed media panel, maybe. But anyway, you've been watching the North Central Florida High School Football Media Day live from the Alachua County Athletics and Events Center in Gainesville. All right, we are back here as we approach 6 o'clock, and last time I saw Mike and Josh, it was 8:30 this morning. So Feels like it was 3 days ago, but here we are.
3 days ago? What are we talking about?
It's been a long day. It feels like a long day, but no, it's been a good day. We've had a lot of good interviews, a lot of good teams coming up. Joshua Wilson rejoining us, Mike Rideout, Cam Parker, and let's go to Josh. Well, first of all, Josh, I got to say, great job. Congratulations. A lot of this was your work, and we did it. It was really, really a good day.
Yeah, absolutely. And it would behoove me to give some thanks out to certain people, Richard Blaylock and Megan Hooper here at the Alachua County Sports and Events Center, the Rad Sports. Awesome. I definitely appreciate what they did with the space and letting us use this space here in the West Lobby part of the Sports and Events Center. I mean, Alachua County's got a great facility for sports, for youth and collegiate sports, because they can host collegiate events here too. So that's a great thing. And it's Alachua County hasn't had a facility like this, and now they have it. Outside of what University of Florida obviously has, but it's designed for obviously
University
college.
of Florida was here today.
Yeah, yes, and
volleyball camp.
Yeah, volleyball camp
right.
going on.
So the camp. Yeah, that's right.
So there's a lot going on here, and of course, appreciate Gary Tufford, GT Sports Productions. I appreciate Gary coming up here with his crew and here to Gainesville, and of course. We got Tampa coming up this weekend with the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers Media Day, Saturday and Sunday at the Advent Health Training Center. So, but
Gary's been staring at that screen for 10 hours too. So
I know, and Gary, for that delay for over an hour, I know we had to. I mean, that was probably one of the more complex technical difficulties I've seen in all the years I've worked with Gary. And I mean,
good job of getting that fixed. I know it was kind of rough at times.
I think that was probably outside of maybe not having the internet at places like Boca Raton. Years ago, it's definitely been one of those events and stuff. But
so we had. there were only a couple schools that weren't here today. What did we have? 32.
We had 32, and we had 30 show up, and that's great. I mean, this is
something that will hopefully make a tradition of.
We will definitely have a media day again. There's a few things we'll look at and take a look at, but I think for the most part, I think everybody was able to get a lot of content, a lot of stuff that for being able to do that. And of course, I had Big Hits Live, another official media partner. Yeah. They were here doing all the hype videos, and the kids, that's something new for them this year. So it definitely gave them an opportunity to have some fun.
Right. So we'll talk to Mike and Cam a little bit more about the teams in the area here. I mean, did you learn anything today from? It's basically the beginning of talking season. It's not the beginning of the season. That's Coach Spurrier called it, but yeah. But you guys, anything you found out today? Any surprises from some of the teams here?
I think some of the surprises were some of the height of some of the quarterbacks.
Right.
Newberry obviously has a big, tall quarterback. Gainesville's going to have a big, tall quarterback. That was one of the things that jumped out.
Yeah, he was pretty tall.
Was the size of these QBs that were here today.
And for me, part of it was also the transfer culture now in the state of Florida. And it's big this year, and coaches kind of touched on that a little bit. PK Yonge had a lot of guys leave, but they've been able to rebuild the roster a little bit, and they got some good athletes this year. Fort White didn't really lose anybody, but they added to their receiving core this year. So just a few different things that went on with this year. And, of course, with pretty much Newberry and Buchholz flipping, with Keel McGriff going to Buchholz and Colin Dunmore coming to Newberry. So it's very interesting, the dynamic, because North Central Florida, I know it's a big area, but it is very close with everyone knowing everybody. And it's interesting to see how that transfer culture works out here.
Speaking of tall quarterbacks, Colin Dunmore, he's pretty tall. He's a big guy. But good basketball player too.
I do want to add on Cam's point, that everybody knows, or almost everybody knows everybody. I mean, a lot of them play youth football together, so they've started when they were playing youth football all the way up, and so it's.
First of all the coaches know each other, which is I think it's great. They all literally know each other. It's a fraternity, but still,
it is a fraternity up here, and it's when you know each other, and it brings camaraderie, and it brings a chance for teams to build rivalries, and a lot of teams have got established rivalries, and some are finding new rivalries, and that's the beautiful thing about this. And North Central Florida, there's a lot of great football up here. Don't knock it until you see it.
No, and well, think about that too. I mean, you've got a team in Hawthorne, 2-time defending state champs. They haven't lost a game in 3 years. Buchholz, nearly won the state. They've been like last 3 years in the state semifinals, and those teams they've been the best teams in this area. And to me, I don't see Buchholz missing a step because Mark Whittemore's been there. Hawthorne, I don't know. They seem to find ways to win.
And speaking of Hawthorne, we kind of got the answer we wanted. Cedric Daniels saying that for now, C.J. Ingram would be playing football for Hawthorne.
Yes, I didn't know we were going to report that, but he told me that, and we did talk about that a little bit. So right now, as of now, he's at Hawthorne.
But anything can change because the landscape here. I think the biggest thing that I think we have to remember is that we're potentially a week out from the Florida Department of Education finalizing what the FHA approved last month, and that's what the name and image. And that once that is approved, that's it. These kids can start signing deals, and that'll be
July 24th. That's right.
So there's a thing, but it would behoove me to give some a couple shout outs here real quick to Craig Damon and Scott Jamison from the Florida High School Athletic Association, which is right here in our own backyard.
Nice of them to come out and check it out.
Yeah. So
and Gary Pygott, formerly of the FHA.
Yes, who is the Alachua County Athletic Director. So
is he now?
Yes,
okay.
he is. He's the county athletic director.
That was a change, yeah.
Yeah, he's the county athletic director for Alachua County Schools. So appreciate him coming by, and and again, it just has been a great event. And I want to just real quick thank all the sponsors that sponsored the different team segments for the schools today, and quite a few different sponsors here sponsoring the team segment. So we definitely appreciate that, because without them, this part of the media day probably would not have been possible to bring to y'all. So we definitely appreciate that, and we'll grow the event next year, because I think next year I really there's some opportunities and to be able to really amplify this media day.
You guys were talking about, you learned about how tall the quarterbacks are. I learned that they're like really, really big linemen in this area. I mean, there's
some hefty ones.
There was a 400-pound lineman.
I mean, was Keystone Heights, I want to say?
Yeah. It's just, they're big anyway. I mean, Keystone Heights, they lift weights also. They're a weightlifting powerhouse.
But they're also a pound and ground type team.
That's why they are, because they have linemen.
Go back to those Chuck Dickinson days.
They throw it a little bit more. Chuck threw it one time a game, maybe.
But, they throw it a little bit more under Coach Reynolds. But I think one of the big things I learned is, again, it's a coaching fraternity around here, and at the end of the day, there's a lot of great games that are going to be coming up the pike here. And also, I do want to say another thing I did learn is that so the max preps rankings for the FHA. What I did learn is that what we see on maxpreps.com is not actually going to be it. So they'll take those rankings, but there's a forfeit factor that Max Preps can't incorporate it, but they can incorporate it on the FHA site, because they really need that forfeit factor. So there's some things that are going to be there. So in playoff rankings, it won't be Sundays; they'll be Tuesdays still. So we'll get those. So a couple things.
The last one, right? The last one will be Sunday.
The last one will be that Sunday with the playoff bracket reveal at the end of the season. But that's something I learned today.
So, guys, any other?
There was a handful of new head coaches.
Not as many as last year. Last year, everyone had a new head coach. In Gainesville, at least. We had a lot of first-year head coaches last year.
Yeah.
The only one we had this year was Santa Fe.
But you look at the number of coaches that are now in either their second stint or third stint.
Like Adam Gore.
Adam Gore's in his
third stint at Chiefland.
And Mark Whittemore's
back for his
John Brantley's in his second stint already.
Dimitri Jackson.
Brian Allen, who we just had on.
But you look at the coaches that have been here for a long time, like Kyla Hall is going on the 9th season at Suwannee. You got Joey Winnington, who's like in his 12th season.
Joey Winnington, 12 years at Bell.
I mean, Joey Winnington ain't going anywhere. He's
I know his cousin Rick is the coach at Dixie County first year.
And Rick is not a first-time head coach, by the way. Remember, he was at Williston a little while back. But
he's a Dixie County grad in his first year there.
Dixie County, and then of course, it's hard to believe Andrew Thomas. He's now 5 years at Union County, and
like the fourth school, I remember.
Yeah.
Trenton, Trinity Catholic. He went to Alabama for a couple years.
Yeah, then he came to Trinity Catholic for a couple years.
And they played Trinity Catholic this year too.
Yes.
Yeah, they played us, right? First time.
And I think the one thing I know that for Andrew is, for him, he wants to be able to replicate that success that he had at Trenton in 13 and 15, winning those 2 titles in 1A, in the rural class. So, and also one more thing I did learn about the rural class is that really the regions are gone. So it's actually all together now. So it's really because of the way the playoffs are going to be, because they're splitting up that playoff. They're testing that new A bracket and B bracket this year. So we'll be interested to see how that goes this year too.
I was just wondering. I was trying to think who is the most experienced coach who's been the longest? Dimitri Jackson, 16th year. Yeah. Oh, it's his second stint at Fort White. 16
years.
2 years. 2 years at Columbia, in the middle of that too. And then of course Brian Allen's been there now 14. This is his second stint. So you're right. Interesting that those two, both in Columbia County, have been around so long. But yeah, you're right. You were talking about. It seemed like last year. I mean, think of it last year. PK Yonge had a first-year coach. Gainesville had a first-year coach. Buchholz had a first-year coach. Well, the others didn't, but still. But this year, O'Call, they have to replace RJ, but it's a guy who's been the coach before.
Yeah, and speaking on O'Call, since
Santa Fe,
it was interesting. Asking about RJ stepping down because it was really sudden. People didn't really see it coming, and they talked about how really they didn't miss a beat because the coaching staff is the same. Yeah. The guys who are seniors on this year's team, they were playing as freshmen. So they're all veterans. So it's not, you do lose a great head coach, but you have a good core of a coaching staff. You have players who know how to win, and they should be okay.
I mean, the only player there was supposed to have been 5 players coming, and the only player they lost was Aiden Jerkins, who transferred to Newberry, and that happened over the weekend. So he was supposed to have been here and for O'Call, but came down to the decision. Hey, sometimes it happens.
Yeah, and they still got Dakota Brower, who's
Dakota,
fantastic.
And
they've got a few other guys too. Briggs Copeland is obviously fantastic as well.
Yeah.
So you talk about when you lose a head
coach.
Even
Aaron Akins.
Losing a head coach is not easy to deal with. There's a lot of transitions with it, but with a school like O'Call that does have already a good foundation in place, they kept most of their coaching staff the same. The Brower family's been there for a while, and then you add to it that it's not like it's just seniors who've kind of been going through the motion and then coming up. They've been playing since they were freshmen, so they're ready to go.
And since we know that it's for Coach Brower, he's only going to be the interim for this year. Then after that, O'Call's going to hire a new permanent head coach, and hopefully that new head coach, once they after the season, they'll be able to keep the continuity going.
And he talked about that too, how they appreciated the support from the O'Call administration, not immediately rushing into a national search and hiring someone just to get them for the season, but getting someone who's already on the staff to be an interim. And he even mentioned too that any of the coaches on the staff could be the interim for O'Call. That's just the way that their staff works.
And I give him a big kudos for taking the interim job, considering that he is a doctor.
Well,
he is a doctor. So So.
Well,
let's go ahead and
also, the opportunity for Randy to coach his son Dakota.
Right.
And it was interesting because Dakota told me today that even though it's a disappointment with RJ leaving, he said RJ was kind of a defensive guy. He said we actually might be able to score more points. Imagine that, because they said 2 scoring records last year.
Oh, I'm sorry. There were so many points in the game against Seven Rivers Christian last year. So
you're right. He did coach defense, I thought, but then when I asked Andrew Thomas about it, he's going to help him with the offense. That's what he said. So I thought he was a defensive coach too. But
again, he mentioned Dakota did the opportunity to air it out a little bit more.
Right. Bradford, two other teams that came close last year. Well, Bradford, obviously, they played in the state championship game.
Vanguard.
And then Vanguard, that was another one, state semifinals. And
then of course Buchholz, obviously, being in the state.
Yeah, well, I mentioned Buchholz, but I went 13-1. But I mean, that Bradford team, they got a lot. I think they got a lot to replace this year. But I mean, that program's set, and I think Newberry is going to have a big year. I think we're going to see that they're getting better. Williston wasn't here today, but I mean, we'll know. That I think as long as Coach Pruitt's there, they're going to be pretty good. But all right, I guess Josh is giving me the wrap-up sign. So
well, I'm getting the wrap-up sign over from Gary. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't see him beyond the camera there. So anyway,
so Gary's giving us the wrap-up sign here.
Yeah, it's 6:03 p.m. I got it. So anyway, that does it for this day. And for the North Central Florida High School Football Media Day, I'll let Josh take you out here.
Yes, I appreciate everybody joining us here for the North Central Florida High School Football Media Day on FortHSFootball.com and FortHSFootball.com social media platforms on Twitter, the platform called now I'll call it X,
Twitter,
Facebook, and YouTube.
Twitter.
Appreciate everybody joining us. Join us on Saturday and Sunday as we bring you the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2024 High School Football Media Day. at the Advent Health Training Center, a.k.a. One Bucks Place. Until then, good night, and appreciate y'all watching us.